Oh my goodness, I don't think anybody can be more excited than I am to show you how to do this cute tom turkey to celebrate November. We've got our picture there at the top to use as a reference. It comes with Nature's Art Club materials. And we're going to start with our intense blue. So that's the darker blue in your palette. And we're just getting a nice light coat of that. And we're going to start with Tom's head. And just at the top there is going to be a nice light blue, kind of a grayish blue. And then we're going to go right to his body. And we're going to do the same blue. I'm just lightening this up a little bit, sorry. Okay. So we're going to go back to his body and we're just going to do that same blue. We're going to block in most of his body. It's just really light, mostly water. Just getting a really nice base coat here. So just doing the main part here, I'm leaving out the wing and his neck and his tail feathers. Okay, now I'm going in with some burnt sienna, which is our lighter brown, and some water, and just blocking in the wing. And then I am just going to move to the tail feathers. And this time I am just leaving the tips white for now, as you can see. And then I'm going to also leave that part at the bottom of the tail feathers white as well, that little line, like that white as well. Okay, just kind of making it a little bit darker, but mostly just blocking in with brown. And remember, you can do whatever colors you want. This is your turkey. So if you want to do some fun yellows or greens or blues, just do that. Have fun. Okay, for this one, I'm going to add some cadmium red, and I'm putting it right there. Just blocking it in right there. The end of the tail feathers, or the beginning of the tail feathers. And then I'm going to the snood. I learned that word. Did you know that that's what that's called? That little piece of skin that hangs from a tom turkey. It's called the snood. And then I'm going to do his neck with that cadmium red. Nice orangish red. All right, now I'm getting some yellow ochre. Just kidding, that's not yellow ochre, I'm sorry. That's cadmium yellow. So that's kind of the, it's not the lightest yellow in your palette, it's the second lightest yellow. It's more of a warm yellow. And I'm just going in and filling in the feet and the beak. All right. And then just getting more of the burnt sienna. And I'm going to just put that right onto the body, and I'm just kind of following the lines that are drawn there, just very loosely pushing down with my brush. And as you can see, they're all different variations of color. So I'm letting some of it be light, and then some of them will be dark. I'm just going and covering his body with little lines. And as you can see, they're kind of rounded, so that helps us know that his body is round. And I'm not worrying too much about if there's some that are dark and some that are light. It just gives it some good variation. And I'm not completely covering his body because I want some of that blue to come through. Now I'm adding some of the burnt umber, which is the darker brown. And I'm going to just work on the tail feather, just going over those lines very loosely. I'm just washing out my brush and coming with pure water to just let those blend. And I'm realizing that I can bring those lines through that red area a little bit. And then just going to the base and adding a bit of shadow there with my burnt umber. So as you can see, I'm just kind of using the tip of my brush and just going over some of those areas. Now I'm moving on to his wings, going over my lines that I've already traced on. Do you see how I'm not being too careful? I'm just kind of quickly going over those lines. And then just kind of working my way around the body, bringing in some of that burnt umber and kind of adding some shadows there at the top, all with just a little bit of paint on my brush. Okay, I'm going to get some more. I'm going to mix it with my intense blue to get a nice gray, a dark gray color. I'm going to come in and add some more depth, another layer of color and shadow. So if you missed that, I mixed burnt umber and the intense blue to get that nice gray color. And I'm just going to touch all those areas again with that. Just add some more dimension as I just add more layers. This acts as a really good, this layer is really good for shadows. So I'm going to just kind of decide where I want my shadows to be. It helps to look at my picture above. And just kind of define where those shadows are going to be. I'm going to work on around and under his eyes and his neck, and then onto his body. And then I'm doing that gray just at the edges with a little bit of brown seeping in, which is just great. Just let yourself be loose and just enjoy it. Don't be too tight with your hand. Just try and be loose with the way that you're putting color on. And we are at the end of the painting portion. On this one, I am adding the outlines as I usually do with my black pen. And if you choose not to outline, that is totally fine. But you will want to with a marker or a pen, just go in and fill in his eyes and just kind of go around his beak maybe to just define that area. You can do that with paint as well, but that's the way I did it on here. I just filled in his eyes with the marker. And as you can see on your little photo, your picture that comes with your Nature's Art packet, you'll just look at the eye and you can see that I left a little bit of a white area so that he has a little highlight in his eyes. And that's it. Hope you enjoyed this tutorial. I hope you have a wonderful Thanksgiving, and I'll see you next time.